Welcome back to Mojo Grip Mike here. Today we're taking a short flight down to Augusta, Georgia. This is a town that's just southeast of Atlanta. Now, two missions for this flight. I've got my buddy here with me, Addison. This flight is actually a congratulations to him because he just became the director of maintenance at a 135 down there in Augusta, and he needs a ride to work. So rather than have him drive 2.5 to 3 hours down to Augusta, I said, hey, there's only a 40 minutes flight in the Mojo Sling. There's nothing better than saving time. So today I'm going to fly my friend Addison down to Augusta, Georgia so he can get his work done, and then we're going to fly back home. But also I'd like to use today's opportunity to check out some of the kinks in the airplane. See, Addison is an excellent A&P mechanic, and I'd love for him to put on his mechanic lens and see what is going on with our fuel pressure fluctuation here. My hope is that we can knock down two birds with one stone. Excited to show you guys my new toy. This is our new electric tug from AirTug. It is perfect for small aircraft and mid-level aircraft. This thing can push and pull up to 16,000 pounds. Welcome back, folks. Got my boy Addison here with me.
What's going on, guys?
He is the champion of all aircraft mechanics, and I mean all aircraft mechanics. But our mission today, Addison is actually going to work. We may deal with some thermals
Echo, Yankee
today.
7 Yankee Echo.
Ideally, we want to climb on top of these mofos. Let's see what kind of power we get. So. Nice and sweet here. We'll let it run for a little bit.
Gwinnett ground, Skyhawk 53507 at the flight school requesting pattern work, touch and go with Mike.
So as you see, what I typically do, our engine looks good. Waiting for this to get probably another 2. I like it at 123, 125. That shows me engine is warm, but everything looks good with the EGT. November 661 Mike Golf, good morning.
661 Mike Golf, request.
Ready for taxiing, gonna be departing to the southeast, currently at the EAA hangars, with information, Mike.
661 Mike Golf, runway 25, taxi via Tango Echo Yankee.
25 via Tango Echo Yankee, 1 Mike Golf.
It's a beautiful day to fly, though.
It is.
Really
nice.
nice.
Clear of all the, I don't know how, I think those clouds are still, they're high up there, so we'll be okay.
Yep, it's all good. This is good motivation for me. You know, I've been training to be a pilot, but with my career track right now and all of the different things that are happening with me in my life, on the positive, you know, I'm like, I haven't made time to do what I know I'm supposed to be doing, which is flying also.
Right. And you know, remember what I told you, like, yeah, it's the commitment, the real cost is the time. And I think you get a window, or you can squeeze it in. You're a busy guy. I thought I was a busy guy. You're busy, man. Yeah. I mean, sure. Right now you're actually going to work hundreds of miles away, and then you still got to be back home for dinner. You know, it's crazy.
But you know, it's a good balance, and I think honestly, you know, a lot of people in aviation, they get into aviation and they think to themselves, oh, well, I got to do one or the other. It's like, no, that's not necessarily true. You know, it's just balance, you know. What I do love about what I do is that, especially growing in the private aviation sector, is that I'm able to kind of do what I need to do when I need to do it.
Yes, sir. Okay, and then as we get up there, again, we have SiriusXM on board that helps us with our weather, in-flight weather. I do see some, I don't think today we'll be bothered by anything crazy, but see, we go to our weather screen here.
Yep.
661 Mike Golf, wind time, course southeast, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
25, clear for takeoff, 1 Mike Golf. All right. You ready?
Ready.
All right, brief. We got a nice long runway. If we have any issues on our takeoff, or hopefully while we're rolling, pull the power back. If we got altitude under us, we'll just look forward and find the best place to land. Of course, I do not hesitate to pull this guy over here. All right, airspeed's alive. Rolling.
213 traffic going to go southeast.
Let's go fly.
For the path outside the traffic, runway 25, clear for takeoff.
Left outside traffic, runway 253, takeoff, clear track 213.
She's a rocket, man.
Yes. But you want to get altitude quick, you know. Altitude's your friend. So.
Yep. All right. Climb at 80. I'm good with that. If you actually pull this how you're supposed to, you wouldn't see anything. And that's pretty.
Oh, that's
pretty crazy. All right, let's get our flaps up.
Yeah, she is moving.
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
Fine.
I want one now.
What you wish to touch ahead of you is a full stop.
See, if we take your hands off, that's how you know it's nicely trimmed.
Number 3, runway 25, clear to land. 12 whiskey.
It's a 507. What we're going to do is have you extend it down when you're
Keeping
looking
an
for
eye on
offset
that.
from 4 miles left to base. Currently back to 1 o'clock, venture right to left northbound, 2,500 indicate, report that traffic in sight.
About 3,500 now.
507 traffic ahead of you is a full stop.
We're stop banding this way.
Part 3, clear to
Normally I'm worried about the Class Bravo, but we're not close to it. So,
yeah,
I think we'll be alright. I love this plane, man. If I had it on takeoff, right now we're climbing about 1,000 feet a minute.
Yep.
If I had it on takeoff and raise the nose a little bit, which I can, because it's a nice cool day, we can increase our climb speed to 1,500 feet, and that's 2 of us in the airplane.
It's pretty good.
Yeah. So
I am a believer now.
Yeah, it's a pretty sleek plane.
If you can't already tell, I absolutely enjoy flying. All I needed was a reason to fly today. When I decided to become a pilot 10 years ago, it was for these exact same reasons. The freedom to be able to take my friend to work and bring him right back home. This is the type of freedom a pilot enjoys. And if you've ever thought about becoming a pilot yourself, make sure you check out our flight training program at lookupflightacademy.com. We can get you your pilot's license within 3 months to 6 months. And if you're just interested in flying, want to go up for a demo flight, you can book a demo flight right there on the website. We fly all modern airplanes just like this one with a glass cockpit, and you find the culture here to be much more lenient. Again, check us out at lookupflightacademy.com.
Which is the most this airplane we burn? 10 gallons per hour. That's our climb takeoff burn.
We'll make Delta.
That's what a lot of the other planes will burn in cruise. But that's what we burn at like full power.
That's pretty good. I mean, you're selling me on this aircraft. It's very affordable. And especially being an AP mechanic already, I get to work on it myself, so.
It's easy to live with. It's a very sophisticated aircraft.
Will you be able to take it immediately or you want to hold short?
When we get to cruise, I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff, safety aspects of this plane.
Yeah.
See this ring right here? It's a really cool safety tool from Garmin. This tells us if we had an engine failure or emergency right now.
Yep.
That's the closest. Another thing you could do is, if you go to nearest, you can see what's closest to you and see how far. But natural for me is I'm always looking down.
Yep.
Right? Because when you get in an emergency, you want to cut your task as much as possible. So if you already have in mind the best place to land, that cuts a good chunk of, you know, what you need to do if you did have an emergency.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, my instructor, he tells me all the time, you know, look for fields, look for roads, look for any open area, you know.
Yep. Which, by the way, you can also listen to nice podcasts for Sirius, but a good way, so it already has Augusta right here.
Yep.
So if I want to get more frequency, all of that, I'll have it on there.
It's very interesting because, you know, I built a flight simulator, and all of this is in the flight sim. You know, you can use the same, as far as training, you know, as instrument training, you know, or just familiarization, I want to say, not instrument training, but familiarization.
Absolutely.
But at your facility, look at Flight Academy, on your flight sim, you have something similar to this.
Yeah, if you train enough in the sim, you'll be straight once you get in the actual airplane. See, right now we're burning 7.5 gallons an hour.
Yep.
And we're covering about 135 knots on the ground. We could go faster. Some people like to ride up to 80%. We could do that. Or we could test going up to 9,500.
Yep.
And see if we get more tailwinds there. Matter of fact, actually, let me give Approach a call. Approach, good morning. November 661 Mike Golf request.
It was 661 Mike Golf.
Good morning. I'd like to request flight following to Kilo Alpha Golf Sierra. We're at 7,500 feet. It's about 25 miles to the southeast of Gwinnett County Airport.
All right. It was 661 Mike Golf, correct?
Yes, sir. That's 661 Mike Golf.
661 Mike Golf, thanks. And give me your destination again. I missed it.
That's Augusta. Kilo Alpha Golf Sierra.
1 Mike Golf, thanks. And your type aircraft?
That's a Sling TSI Sierra Lima Golf 4.
Number 1 Mike Golf, squawk 5171.
5171 for 1 Mike Golf, thank you. So we squawk 5171. Now we're on his radar, and he'll help us out.
Roger that.
And one of the benefit of using flight following also, normally we're flying through a Class Delta or Class Charlie. If you don't have flight following, you have to call into the tower of those airspaces every time you fly through there.
Oh.
But if you have flight following, they just get you through. They do all that extra work for you, so.
Gotcha.
As you can see here, the scenery is quite beautiful. It almost shocks me when I fly to other parts of Georgia. It feels like nobody is flying in the skies today. I've never heard the radio be so silent, especially when I'm using flight following. See, initially with my flight plan, I thought we might run into some clouds here, and although it's a bit hazy, everything looks pretty clear. And again, I've checked my in-flight weather here, and everything looks pretty good so far.
This is 1 Mike Golf. Your radar contact about 9 miles southwest of Athens. The Athens altimeter, 3026.
3026, 1 Mike Golf.
1 Mike Golf, contact approach 132.47.
13247 for 1 Mike Golf. But yeah, man, welcome to the Mojo Sling. We are cruising nicely here.
Golf, runway 8 is active. Visual to 8.
I mean, we've been trying to do this for quite some time now.
Yeah.
Schedules, trying to get everything in line, families.
Absolutely.
It's a lot going on, so.
Yep.
But we're here. That's all that matters, and we're safe. So,
So here we are cruising along nicely at 7,500 feet. The airplane is flying beautifully as always. And guys, I have missed flying the Mojo Sling. When I thought about the times when I was building this airplane, these are the types of missions that I actually dreamt about flying to be able to fly with a friend or family member to save somebody time and just for the joy of flying. Those were all my fantasies when I was building this airplane. And boy, as she delivered. We're cruising along nicely here, 135 knots, only burn about 7.3 gallons of fuel per hour. And of course, John, the autopilot, is manning the airplane. He does a fine job. It's really hard to find any other four-seater modern airplane that beats the Sling TSI in speed and practicality. As some of you may already know, I'm putting up shares for this airplane for sale. Right now, if you're looking to fly a Sling TSI or own one, rather than spending $400,000 to buy a brand new one, you can buy into this one, the Mojo Sling, for less than $100,000. We would share the cost amongst 3 to 4 people, and as an owner, you'd get access to the airplane just as if you own it by yourself. If you are interested or willing to learn more, just shoot me an email, mike@mojogrip.net.
Director of Maintenance for 135 out here, and I'm going out here to do some work. So now we take the opportunity to get some content and do interview of my good friend Michael Ocho. Welcome, man. How you doing?
Good. I've been itching to fly, so this is a great opportunity to just get out here, man.
He has been telling me, he's like, look, when you're ready to fly, let's fly. I think it'd be really, really good. So I was like, cool. We'll set it up, we'll get it going, and we're going to do this, man. So, Mike, you've been a busy man over the years. You've built a whole lot. We met about, what, 2 years ago?
3000, return to the
Is it 2 or 3 years?
I know it was like the fall of 2023 we met.
Yeah.
I think we knew of each other, but didn't really know. I didn't really know who you were until after we had met, you know. But I know that you had your flight school up in Winston-Salem. You're looking to relocate back down here in Atlanta. And
Right.
that's where our relationship kind of started blooming. Yeah, talk about a little bit about your transition from there.
I was always based in Atlanta, right? But when we started the school, it was 4 of us, and one of our partners was based out of Winston, and we were able to find like a great space, which is like golden in aviation, to find a good hangar space, all of that. And so we started the school there, and it was nice and great for like the first year until the partnership kind of went south. So, but for me, always I had to go back and forth. Also, you know, my home life, when I started the school, I was a dad to 1 kid.
Yeah.
And then when baby number 2 came along, that kind of toppled things. I was not ready.
Yeah.
Let's just put it that way. So it became really tough to do the back and forth thing. Also, like, Winston-Salem was great. It is great in terms of like affordability and being able to find good space, but it is a ghost town when it comes to talent, and we really struggled to find good talent there to run our operation. But long story short is, you know, for about 2 years, I've been trying to get see if we can move or get a space in Atlanta, Georgia, and when the opportunity came up, man, we went at it.
Yeah.
And we were really happy to win the bid for our space now at Gwinnett County Airport. And we opened our doors May or June of 2024.
Yeah, it's been about a year now.
Yeah, about a year. It's been heavy lifted, but we have some good people that's and you've honestly helped us out a lot. Even if it's just like giving booster, motivation, all of that.
100%.
We appreciate you for that. So, but right now we're on the ground and we're hopefully training and creating no pilots, which is the goal. That's the mission.
Yeah, well, you've been busy this year. I've definitely seen the growth, but more importantly, man, especially in the midst of the transition and in the DEI space and everything, how important it is.
Right.
I mean, let's not minimize this, man. You did something that was pretty tremendous for the Gwinnett County area, where you were the first black owned private aviation. That's a big thing right there, right? It's really promoting that diversity, equity, and inclusion space, right? Where it's not necessarily an African American thing, right? It's everybody, bringing everybody together. But elaborate a little bit about your passion for bringing aviation to the more underserved community and what that looks like to be able to expound on dreams.
Yeah, right. It's always tough to stay away from the political atmosphere. But I will say, you know, one of the reasons why we wanted to be in Gwinnett County is because Gwinnett is, in fact, as of 2024, the most diverse county in the entire country.
100%, yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why, you know, I have a mixed family, so we felt comfortable being a resident of Gwinnett County, and we've been here a couple of years, and we've loved it. So that was one of the attractions, actually. Wait, can we put a school here? And it was more so not necessarily, to me, underserved. I don't like using that term, because when I see the issue when it comes to pilotage or just aviation as an industry, unfortunately, we don't have. It's a two-way problem where one is not talked about well enough. So, like, you go to your normal conventional schools, rarely anybody knows about this wonderful world that exists, right? It's rarely part of anybody's curriculum, right? So we wanted to be a part of building that story, going into these schools, and mainly servicing the Gwinnett County citizens. which is very colorful. It's a melted pot in Gwinnett. So that's one of the reasons why we want to be. And then for me personally, like I said, I have daughters. And selfishly, I want at least one of my kids to
We all want that.
You know?
We all want that, yep.
But, you know, that's part of my personal mission is to be able to, again, not necessarily pull people in, but at least show them that this exists and that they can be a part of it. And also, it's a very lucrative career as a pilot and or a mechanic, which you can speak more on. But yeah, that's always been the mission and why we ended up here.
So let's touch back on the underserved. This is probably not the best description of what I was wanting to say, but more so like, you know, there's that big finance gap, right? Where, I mean, the average cost right now is what, $120,000 for flight training to go from 0 to 1,500 or whatever. Most of your flight schools, yeah, it's just basically, it's not even just a financial aspect. It's just, I know for myself getting to this industry, I didn't really know of any programs that were out there. So as far as you're pushing programs, you're pushing non-profits, you're pushing a lot of information out to the masses to say this is what can happen, you know. So I believe that's where where I was trying to go with that, especially just for women, for people of color, you know, things of that nature, right? Not to go too much into the political side of it, but it's still one of those things that's very important to this industry, you know?
Right, in my experience so far, so we've been active now 3 years since the school started, and the biggest barrier remains the cost.
The only traffic I'm aware of in the area is about 8 miles northeast.
So no matter where you come from or your background, this is a cost capital intensive space. And because again, it's not part of your conventional subject matter, a lot of colleges where you can't even get a federal loan to go through training, which is part of the things that we're actually working on is how can we get access to what normal colleges get access to for our students, right? Because it will feel like going through associate degree college or a bachelor's degree college. So cost remains a challenge for a lot of students or a lot of people who want to do this. And we're helping solve that problem as well. But as far as diversity, man, what's crazy is since we've been in Gwinnett, I kid you not, we have 4 semesters every year. And just about every semester without miss, most of our students are women. I don't know why that's happening, but it's been
I have a lot of good friends, and most of them are women flight attendants who are transitioning from the cabin to the flight deck. You know, one of my women in aviation. With me working in the private sector, you see a lot of women working in this field. So I'm really not surprised by that. It's actually, I think that's a really good thing, honestly.
Right, it shocked me, honestly. It really did. And also, you know, we have women as part of our staff, instructors as well. Also part of the executive staff. So I think...
Number 1 Mike Golf, you can begin your VFR descent whenever you're ready. Just for now, maintain VFR at or about 3,500.
Roger, we're begin our descent and maintain 3,000 VFR 1 Mike Golf. Alright, so let's actually get down.
No worries, we just take a pause and pick it back up.
Yeah.
Augusta approach, bearing 970 Golf Charlie. We're just making sure we're good to enter the Delta for the downwind for 23.
Never 0 Golf Charlie, affirmative, tower is watching you here.
Roger that, 0 Golf Charlie.
Never for 55790 Guest approach, is that you checking in? The guest altimeter is 3029er. Never 0 Golf Charlie, the traffic inbound to Augusta is just
I see
to
a
Daniel
spot
now,
over
no
there.
Do you have the field and sign off the right?
It's still hazy for me to see any runway.
Never 0 Golf Charlie, traffic about a mile south of the field. It looks like they're using less traffic for runway 23 in the pattern. I think it's a Skyhawk. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR and change to advisory frequency is approved. Have a day.
Radar services terminated. Squawk
Got about
VFR,
2,000 to go.
Okay. Let me see the approach I wrote down.
Number 1 Mike Golf, cancel your altitude restriction.
Roger, at my discretion, 1 Mike Golf. So Tower 1. Yep. So I know, based on what I wrote down,
Yep.
I know the only person who's going to transfer is the
80500,
tower.
Augusta approach.
But I got to get that airport in sight first, which is still a skill I need to work on as a pilot. I still struggle with finding.
Daniel 6 Charlie, Augusta approach 6 Charlie Kilo, can I go to Unicom?
Number 6 Charlie Kilo, affirmative. Radar services terminated. Squawk VFR.
Actually, really not a bad flight
Frequency is
coming out.
Thank you, sir. 6 Charlie Kilo.
Number 8050 Sierra, squawk 4657. Augusta altimeter 3029er.
So funny story,
10
when I start my flight
Number
training,
148 Mike, contact Atlanta approach 132.47. Good day.
actually, one of my first flights was a night flight.
Number 8 Bravo
From
Fox, radar
AGS back to
contact Fremont
LZU.
west of the Aiken
Oh,
Airport,
yeah?
clear direct
Yeah.
Jaeger.
Flew the whole way,
Right to
stick,
Jaeger.
no
Oh,
autopilot.
So, Tower, good morning, November 661, my golf.
661 Mike Golf, good morning. Report a 3 mile right base, runway 17.
3 mile right,
runway 17. NOTAM's runway 826 closed. All taxiways each runway 35 closed.
Cuckoo Whiskey Echo executing minutes.
Yes.
Whiskey Echo, rush.
Alright, we'll get a little bumpy lower to the ground, okay?
Doesn't bother me, man.
Alright, dope.
This ain't my first rodeo.
Good. I just always like to mention it to passengers because for folks, if you're not used to getting tossed around in a small airplane, it can freak people out.
Man, I've been flying a long time. Especially, I would tell you something that's really wonky is when you're doing maintenance flights after you done worked on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so turbulence is at least your concerns.
I'm gonna ask him for the wind because I didn't get it from that ATIS.
Number 1 Mike Golf, you can disregard the reporting point. Runway 17 clear to land, wind 150 at 8.
Runway 17, clear to land, and was that 150 at 8 for the wind?
Okay, affirmative, 150 at 8 for the wind.
Roger, 1 Mike Golf. Alright, thank you. Alright, look at our PSI, looking good. Alright, our airspeeds look good. Descent rate looks good. Keep it at 80. Runway is in sight. Get my foot on the rudders, because we'll need it.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll leave the flaps where it's at for now. Ideally in this airplane, you want to be around like 71 knots on final. Put a little speed just because of that crosswind. I love long runways. Alright.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Look you go.
Welcome, boys and girls, to Augusta Regional Airport. This is one of the longest runways I've ever landed on. We're going to taxi along now to where we're going, and we'll wait around for Addison to get his work done. Once it's done, we're going to get back up in the skies and back to Gwinnett County Airport. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time, be sure to subscribe to Mojo Grip. Also, subscribe to our newsletter at mojogrip.net/more. And of course, if you would like to be in the pilot seat like me, make sure you check out our flight program at lookupflightacademy.com. We fly all modern airplanes just like this one, and we can get you your pilot's license. Or if you want to pursue a career as a pilot, we also have an accelerator program that will get you your commercial pilot license in a year. So make sure you check us out, lookupflightacademy.com.